Pro Quick Tips. Today we're going to discuss the EVO 200 and 400 touchscreen, more specifically the tank status and control screens. So to get started, we're going to access our quick jump menu by touching the arrow at the top of our home screen. And then once our quick jump menu comes up, we're going to see tanks right here. We're going to touch on tanks. That's going to bring us to the tanks summary inventory screen, which will basically label out all of our tanks in a graphical image showing the tank name, the volume in gallons, and are actually a color graphic representing the product in the tank. As you can see here on the first two tanks, we got a little graphic showing a number 1. That is indicating that these two tanks are in a manifold, and we'll talk a little bit about manifolds later on. So if we touch one of these individual tanks, we go in, now we can see the actual inventory detail of the individual tank. We have our gross volume, our net volume, ullage volume, product level, temperature, capacity, max capacity, water volume, and water level. We also in here, we have a control button. So once we select the control button, this will give us the ability to start a monthly or annual test. Keep in mind that starting an annual or monthly static test will require about 8 to 10 hours of downtime. And you will also require the site has not had a delivery within 6 hours of starting the test and has not dispensed any fuel within 2 hours of starting the test, or you will probably have the test abort. So if we back out now, we're going to go back here. We've got some other information up the top of our inventory detail screen. We can select delivery, and in here we can scroll through. We can actually scroll through the last 40 deliveries. So if we go all the way down here, you'll see we'll get the ability to go to the next 20. And we can scroll back up to the top. But you'll see here you're going to get your gross delivered, your net delivered, and the end time of the delivery. And our next tab over here, we have static leak test. So here we can actually see if we were to start one of those manual tests, we can actually see the status of that test and if any leaks were detected. So I'm going to jump back out to my quick jump menu here. And I'm going to now go into manifolds. If you remember, we had the tanks 1 and 2 were indicated that they were in a manifold. So here's an inventory manifold summary showing the one manifold we have with the amount of gallons. We've actually named it Manifold 1. Now if we go into that, now we've got a little detail about the manifold itself, as well as a delivery history similar to the tank inventory detail. One last feature I'll show you on here, if we do go back into tanks, and if you go into an individual tank and you were to hit print, you would get an inventory report of just this tank. If we backed up and hit print here, we will get an inventory of all the tanks on that screen.